Hey guys, thank you everybody for jumping on, or for the people that will be jumping on here. Appreciate you taking the time out of your Tuesday evening to be out here with us. Had a pretty good tournament over the weekend. A lot of fish caught, a lot of stories to tell. Zoltan, how's it going, buddy?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Hanging in there, recovering from the weekend.
Yeah. I remember you telling me about your doctor's appointment and you had good news, dude. I'm super excited for you.
Yeah. He said that, they talk about strength in a couple of ways. One, they talk about muscular strength, and the other one is tendon strength. And what he's worried about is tendon strength. And he said, I'm at about 85 to 90% full strength now, but still got to be careful. And then I got to work on building that muscular strength back up, or you just hurt yourself again. So things are looking great, but I got a little ways to go.
Well,
Ricardo,
like you're out of the deep water.
Hey everyone, how we get?
What's going on, man?
Oh man, I'm fighting this sinus infection. So sorry if I'm not at my best tonight.
Not at your best, but you're coming off of a top 10 finish, right there in Colorado.
Yeah, first tournament fishing. It's mostly smallmouth on this lake. First time I've ever gone after smallmouth. Did pretty well. Could have finished in the money if I hadn't lost the fish off my board. So, but live and learn.
Oh man, that's tough when they flop off the board. You're kind of just like looking at the water, expecting them somehow to magically reappear.
Yeah, it hurt. Not gonna lie, it hurt.
Yeah,
You did say you top 10 though, right?
Top 10 though. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, heck
top
yeah.
10
man,
out of 50, right? That's not bad.
50 some odd anglers, yeah.
That's really
Not
good.
bad. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, especially for your first time chasing smallies.
Yeah, for
Wouldn't
sure.
complain at all.
It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to take a second and thank sponsors: Copper State, Persuader Bass Baits, Minesweeper Lure Company, Copper State Baits, Rico, Labina Lures, and Southwest Custom Tackle. I always say Rico instead of Labina Lures. And Copper State, they've been really helping us out with a lot of stuff. And remember, they have a sale going on right now, their Memorial Day sale, and it's 25% off. I think it's store wide, and that goes on till the 27th. So definitely hit them up. Our next tournament coming up is on June 8th, so it's only a couple of weeks out. I'm going to have, it's up on Tourney X. I need to post it up on our group page, and I will plan on getting that done this evening after we get done. And I want to bring up one other thing real quick that I touched on for a minute while Z wasn't on, and that is kind of what we did to try and spread things out. So I'm handling all of the Arizona Bass Nation kayak stuff, while Zoltan is handling all of the Arizona Kayak Bass Anglers club stuff. So he's the club president, maintains the roster, takes care of all of the club tournaments. So if you guys have questions about that club side of things, be sure to hit Zoltan up. And Ricardo is our tournament director, tournament judge. And Zoltan, is there anything you want to say to that?
Other than if you want to get your feet wet in kayak fishing, if you're not already, joining our team club or our team events and our night events and everything else we got going on, it's a good time. But feel free to look up the website. I'll try to post it in the link somewhere, a comment section or something, but there's a lot of good resources on there. My email's on there, so you can email me any questions you have. And feel free to join us.
All right.
It's a good time.
And so from the tournament this past weekend, we did a cookout on the Friday the night before. That was pretty good. We had quite a few people show up at the cookout. And I really want to thank Zoltan and Joe Kaufman for jumping on the grill and taking care of cooking up burgers and dogs. Much appreciated. I also have to thank my wife for helping me out with getting everything ready. And
Yeah, dude. Thank you to your wife, Chris. She's awesome, man. She helps you out a lot. I could see.
yeah, she does. She's always on board. And so let me see if we got, hey guys, just looking at comments. Okay. With that being said, I'm going to jump right into pulling all the guys in here. We've got our top 5. Let me get them all in here. What's going on, guys?
What's going on?
How's it going?
Hello.
Thanks for joining us, gentlemen.
Thanks for having us. Pleasure.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I guess we'll start in the 5th place position. That was Bryce Gibbs.
Yeah.
Rocked in there with 86 inches better. How was your day out there, man?
Oh, it's good.
Well, now, hold on. Hold up.
Real quick.
Hold up just a second. Let's start out down at 2nd place Big Fish.
Okay.
And yeah, because 2nd place Big Fish was Thomas Benavidez. He had a 19.75, and Thomas is getting a check for $168. And look at those studs. There you go. And then in 1st place Big Fish, we had Mike Darden with a 20.5. And I've got to pop this guy up there real quick. There's his 20.5. And this is some of the stuff that we're dealing with on photos. He had a 21-inch fish here, but he's also got a mouth cracked open. So, we want to warn people about, especially we see this a lot in pictures that people don't hold the fish on the board. They move away a little bit. And Ricardo, do you want to talk to this photo a little bit?
Yeah, definitely want to say that that we did penalize it for the open mouth. It's a nice catch, so way to go on this catch. But I am noticing a trend that a lot of these photos are starting to be at an angle. So I'll probably be making a post on our group page here shortly to say that we're going to start focusing on these angled photos. So this one is a little on the subjective side, right? One of the issues is when you take the photo at an angle, you can't really tell if the eyes are good or not, right? To where you can verify if the fish is alive still. Sometimes with the sun, the positioning, it's really hard to tell if the mouth is touching the fence. Mm-hmm. So, I found myself zooming in like crazy. But at that point, I had already allowed quite a few angled photos. So I didn't feel it was proper to start DQing photos at that point in time. But I am going to make it a point to be vocal going forward that angled photos, beware. But we can get into more detail throughout the week and as we get near to the next event at Roosevelt.
Yeah, and just to say a little bit more about that, when you get the angled photos, this one you can see the mouth there and you can see that it's slightly cracked open. A lot of times with the angled photos, you can't see the mouth clearly and be able to verify that the mouth is closed. So it makes it really difficult to judge. So anyways, Mike Darden, he ended up, that was 20.5 inches, and he's getting a check for $252. Then in 6th place was Jeff Dickerson. He had 85.25 inches. Jeff will be getting a check for $130. And now, Zoltan, if you want to jump in with the top 5, and I'll just fill in with the amount of what the check amount is.
Please.
Yeah, cool. Well, as I was just saying, I jumped the gun there with Bryce, but he had 86 inches, buddy, and you had a 18.75 as your big fish. And I did see you roll out into my area there and whack him, buddy. How did it go?
I threw a flapping frog around again. That was basically the whole day. The morning, I had a few good bites. The 18.75 was my first one. Nice. And then I caught like a 20-inch catfish on a flapping frog, which that's definitely a first. And it was like, I don't know, maybe 3 feet from the kayak, just blew up, and then chaos, dude. I thought it was a giant at first. But yeah, just that flapping frog. I mean, it's the same. Instead of straight white, I went with a little bit like the sexy frog color. But it's the same deal. Just, I mean, it was throw out, cast, reel, twitch, pause. Especially in and out of those trees, it's just I can throw it down in the tree and then just go back and forth with my rod. And then depending on the trees, it actually will cut back and forth even more. And then just a lot of pauses with that. Like I was trying to fish fast. So like the whole day I was sitting down because my motor took a you-know-what on me the last event, the team event. So I was sitting down basically all day, throwing a frog, the flapping frog, just go, 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 go. And I had like a 4-hour window where there was just nothing. I was getting blow-ups. I mean, towards the end of that is when I saw you, Pat, and Chris. And the wind really picked up, and I'm like, back to the old school days, just pedaling and trying to stay in the same position. But then they started blowing up on a frog like crazy. I mean, it was like in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing. I'd look that way, I'd pause it, and then they'd eat it. And I had, a 16-incher with 3 minutes to go. I would have beat Dallin. I would have got him. But this is where we all make mistakes. I took a photo. I took 3 photos, and they're way zoomed in on the 16-incher. I checked them. Still had the fish. Went to go take more pictures, and my photo then was shooting straight towards the sky. Took a few more photos, checked them, and then she flopped off. It was 12:57. I'm like, all right, whatever. I got 3 minutes to get one more. And it just didn't happen. So I had fun. I caught topwater fish on and off all day. A couple on a hammer, a couple on a jig. I was throwing a big swim bait. I just had a lot of followers. I didn't really have any commit to a big swim bait. But yeah, just scroll flapping frog. And they're probably, I think right now at Copper State, they're out of stock on the white ones, but they have these in stock. I know that right there.
There you go.
Good plug.
And you see those hooks are up a little bit. Like
you did that right.
They're going to come down into here. So I just bend them up, fish grabs it, and they got it right there.
Yeah,
so
you bend them
it's really easy to fish.
Out?
What's that?
I said you bend them up and out?
They go out a little bit just while I'm bending them up, but I don't purposely bend them out. Just try to go back, and they both kind of just spread out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's another great frog tip. The last live stream you gave another good frog tip. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean that's.
I think
everyone here knows that's my favorite way to fish. So.
Oh yeah, no, but it's great that you're sharing. It's great that you're sharing.
I see DJ posting more and more. I know Bennett's getting on to Bill back in the day. We were, what was it, Mitchery?
Oh yeah.
You're like, yeah, dude, I was throwing a frog. I'm like,
I had a bite. At Mitch. I mean, the last weekend I got skunked. I mean, the last tournament I got skunked, but the time before that, it was all day. It was insane. It was so much fun.
That was great because you went down there for the team event, right?
No, I didn't. I didn't do the team event. It was the time before that. Or was it? No, it was the team event. That's when
we were there.
That's when I crushed it.
We were there the following weekend, and dude, it was so much better. It was crazy.
Hey, Bryce.
Yeah.
Hey, that 15-incher, that was the last one that you caught, right? You upgraded from like a 14.5 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I gotta say, man, there was a point where you and Bennett were like neck and neck.
Oh, yeah.
When you submitted that 15, you actually submitted at 15.15. And so I had to correct it. And I was just chuckling myself. I was chuckling because I'm like, man, I can't wait to talk some smack here because he's trying to get past Bennett with that 0.15.
No, I mean, I had one come to the kayak. It was right after that 15, and she was like 22, 23, and just comes to the kayak, following the frog, and then just turns around. I'm like,
Ah,
yeah, I would have been like 92 with that one. So it's fishing, dude.
Yeah.
It's kind of like throwing a big swim bait in a way. Like with this bait, you have followers sometimes. They follow into the boat, but that's when I pause it a lot, because if they're following, then it stops. They're either going to eat it or go away. A lot of times they don't just keep following it out, unless they're really small. But I mean, that pause is just one of the most important things. I mean, accurate cast would be one of them. Not having anything loud. But even like in the trees, I get hung up on trees, and I'll just I'll pull it up and down. I'll catch fish like that, just bobbing the bait in the water barely, and then just stopping it. And then they'll come up and just freaking smash it, dude. It's so fun.
Bro, I literally was doing that on Alamo. I pitched into a tree, bro, and my line went right over, and I was doing that. Dude, I had the biggest blow up, dude, and it straight it broke me off clean.
Yeah, oh yeah,
right away. The frog
That's
didn't even
when
come back, dude. There's a giant out there with my frog in its mouth still. Straight up, dude.
Probably friends with the one from freaking Martinez for me, dude.
Dude.
that's what you call the frog dangler.
Dude, the frog dangle, baby.
I do that all the time at the river too, like the Salt River. I throw little frogs and I purposely throw it into a tree or in a tule so it's hung up. Especially when you're floating in the current, you just want that bait to sit there instead of moving all around. It's just like a little anchor. But yeah, they'll come up and eat it. I was at Clear Lake years ago. That's when I started doing it. Teabagging.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna keep it PG, man.
Hey, man, we're all adults here.
I'd be all open right now.
We're all adults here.
No, I was at Clear Lake. This was back in like 2018, maybe. And I threw a frog in a tree. And like I'd do it here and there and get blown up. But I had like a 8 to 10 pounder just come up. It shampooed the frog. It just went like straight up, straight back down. I went, oh my God. And we were pre-fishing, so I didn't set, but I was like, all right, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna hang it from that tree, and just see.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I caught them on other things, but mostly it was just a flapping frog. I probably had, I didn't have like 30, 40, 50 fish. I maybe had 15 to 17, but I didn't catch one under 12. So that's why I threw the frog all day too. Like I wasn't catching an 8 or 9 or 10 or 11. Like I think 12 and a half was my smallest. Then it was 13s, 14s, and then up from there.
So when I saw you out there, when we ran into you at the end of the day, and we were back in that pocket, we were trying to stay like away from everybody, and we'd see these areas once in a while, and there wasn't anybody there, and it's like, okay, we're going to go fish a little bit, and so we go back in that pocket, and then you came in there, and I saw you, and I was like, oh crap, okay, which way are you going to go?
Yeah.
And so you were headed the way that we had not fished.
Mm-hmm.
We had fished the area where you came in. And so you left, and we went back out the way that you came in, and Chris caught like a 16 and a halfer on the back of the boat. And I was like, oh God, don't let him see that, because you had just fished through there. And I knew a couple of inches would have really helped you.
Yeah. I went over that 3 times already, dude.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't have the motor, so I wasn't running around as much as I wanted to.
You were pedaling.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Especially to get back in, lines are out, and I was like, it got pretty windy, dude.
So Bryce, you pick up $195.
Nice.
So 5th place. You got any? You want to talk about sponsors and social media?
Yeah, I brought them up earlier. Copper State. Definitely want to thank them. Dakota Lithium, Dobbins Rods. Those are the main 3 right now. A lot of people know I fished out of a Hobie PA14. But yeah, that's really it. Just those guys, and be sure to check out Copper State's sale this week. In store, I believe, starts tomorrow, and then it's online to the 27th. But yeah, 25% off. And again, they're out of the white, but they got these. They got more white coming in.
Awesome. Well, good
Solid,
job,
bro.
man.
Thank you.
You going to be at Roosevelt in a couple of weeks?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's going to be
I'm back and forth. I'm trying to fish that Spro Havasu event out of the back seat of someone's boat, and it's coordinating that, and I won't have pre-fishing time anyway, so I'm not.
Okay.
I mean, I'll know that week.
All right.
I'll see how close the AOI thing is. I think I already know, but
yeah, we'll cover that here. We'll cover
see.
that here in just a little bit. All right, man. Well, thanks a lot.
Coming for you, Mark.
Yes, sir. Well, thank you, Bryce. Appreciate that. Coming in
thanks for all you
fourth.
guys, what you do. I mean, it's awesome. We couldn't do it without you, really. I mean, I've been in your shoes, and thank you is what I'll say. Because I still love just showing some fishing, you know. So I'd love to help out when I can, but tournament day, I want to get out there and fish for my one day of the week.
Nah, you're good, bro. I feel like we're just carrying the torch that you held at one point too. So
yeah.
Just doing our duty, man. We all want to fish these events, dude. I personally enjoy calling you guys out. You know, I got to say right now, coming in fourth place with a big fish of 18 and a quarter, 86.75. Looks like you had 2 culls. Dallin Hardin. What's up, buddy?
What is that? Can you hear me good?
Yeah, we got you.
I have screaming
coming
kids.
in live.
Try to close the door. They just barge right in. So, you know.
Hey, sounds like my house, baby. Sounds like my house.
I'll keep it quick, man. I mean, I had a crazy numbers day. Caught like 35 to 40. I lost track of like 33. Just like you, Bryce. None really under. I caught like 212 inches, but they were all they were like clones, man. 14, 15 inches. The occasional 16 to 17 incher, but I was on the northeast end of the lake, all the way by the trees, and then just in those east coves. When I was pre-fishing, I was catching them in the back of the coves, but it was like May 1st. So then come tournament day, I found all the fish on the main lake walls, on the rock walls. So in the morning, I was catching a buzzbait. Pre-fishing, so I figured stick with that, and maybe I'll get a big bite, you know. But on a Jamaica boa, you know, mega bass, just black. That's what I normally always throw if I'm throwing a buzzbait, black Jamaica boa. And then my shallow bite went away, like all the way away. Once there was a little chop in the morning, and once that went away and the sun came out, I couldn't catch a fish in less than 10 feet of water. So I was flipping a Texas rig straight braid into the trees and a minimum of 15 feet of water. And it was like every cast. I mean, I was getting bit or catching a fish. It was ridiculous. And I was throwing this little bait. It's you guys know like the Lost brand, Sportsman's brand?
Lost Creek?
Yeah, Lost Creek. It's like you can only get it at Sportsman's. It's like a little.
I have seen them.
Brand. Just this little beaver, man. I only use it at Alamo. It's like green on one side and it's orange on this side, and then like a watermelon pepper on this side. I at Alamo there like 3 years ago with it, bought like 5 bags, and I literally only use them at Alamo. This is my last one though, so I'm gonna have to go re-up. There, I don't know what it is.
25% off a copper still, dude. They got something similar.
Yeah,
it's similar.
I'm such an idiot, man. I'm like a confidence guy, you know. So it's like, oh, I gotta have that Lost Creek fever, bro. You know, like that's. I know.
We're all that way.
I get it.
But yeah, man. I mean, I had a great day. It's fun. It was really frustrating catching all the clones because I was getting so many bites. Kept telling myself, you know, like let's keep doing working, and we'll run into a big one. And when you're flipping those trees, every fish catches behind a branch, so every fish at first feels huge. You know, you got a good one on, and then it comes jumping at another 14. You know, so I had a blast though. The pedal in was a little sketchy because I caught my last fish at 12:58 when I was still on the northeast end of the lake. Wanted to make it back by 1:30, which I did by 1:29. But I've never had that much water in the hull of my kayak. It was like my battery was floating in the hull. just those waves and just. I'll post a video. I have so much footage. I'm gonna post a little video, on YouTube and stuff. And the ride back looks crazy. Like camera's just like shaking and there's water splashing. I'm all wet. Like when I got to the ramp, I was soaked like I had jumped in the water, just from all the water coming over my hull. And I'm in that little compass, so.
Seeing you out there.
Yeah, you're low on the water.
Yeah.
He's fast though, dude. He's fast.
It's fast.
He's so fast.
I've seen that too.
And not look so fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's fast, man, and it's simple. So, and then I can hoist it onto my car, so I like it for now. Yeah, I didn't think I'd finish it. I really thought some people were going to find some 20, 21s. I thought there'd be a few of them. I was shocked that, that we all kind of had a similar day. But
yeah,
I had a blast. I mean, that's really all I could say about it.
I can attest. When I came by you out there, I think I caught you during that in between moment where you were like having a blast, but you were frustrated because you were like, man, I'm whacking them out. I just 14 after 14 after 14. I was like, okay.
And
I can't feel my thumb anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Funny, like I reel in at some of the fish towards the end of the day. I get them in the yak and I just grab them, unhook them, and just toss them.
It's just like the same fish, yeah.
Yeah, man. But I mean, you can't complain when you're catching them like that. It's always fun getting a bite in trees, and the buzzbait bite was really fun too. They were smoking the buzzbait, but I didn't catch a single fish in the back of a cove. I was on the main lake wall the whole day. Where you saw me, Z, I was like about a quarter-mile area back and forth. That's what I did all.
Yeah, no, that's the way to do it though, man. And it earns you a check so you can go buy more of those lost creeks. And if my next video ever comes out, dude, everyone gets to see how fast you are in that outback or whatever that compass, dude.
It's become a pride thing, to like beat everybody out. So,
I seen you, bro. I seen you.
At the tournament, you see me hustling every tournament, trying to get to my spot for no reason. Normally does nothing.
Hey, you wait
great, dude.
It's great, bro.
It's great. It's motivating me.
The way to warm up. I snowboard a lot in the in the winter, so I got legs don't die, man. Legs.
Yeah, bro. I'm with you. I do that too. Like, yeah.
But yeah,
cool, man.
I'll post on YouTube. You guys know, but I'm fishes on YouTube. I don't have any sponsors yet. I'm not big time, but I'll get there. So.
You're big time daddy, though.
Yeah. I got 3 of them. One on the way. So the fact that
Congratulations.
I get to fish at all is a testament to my fiance to hold it down at the house. We have a situation here, so
amen to that.
I try. They're sleeping. I mean, I'm about to go to Canyon right now and fish till like 3 a.m.
I got a question though.
Yeah, what's up?
Talk a little bit about the urban stuff.
Oh yeah.
Just
dude, the urban stuff. So I admin for AZ Urban. Me and 5 other guys. We do at least a tournament a month, if not 2 in the good months. $20 entries, $10 for big fish. First place is normally taking home $300 to $400. Big fish, $250, $300. And it's a blast, man. I mean, if you guys haven't fished urbans, everything from the canals to Tempe Town Lake to McKellips Greenbelt, the little mud holes there, they hold big fish, man. I mean, not like the lakes. I mean, you're not likely to catch a 7, 8, or a 10. But I mean, at Tempe Town, I've caught a 6.5. Someone catches a 5 every year for our big fish of the year. We do a big fish of the year prize. We also do an angler of the year prize. So it's a legit circuit that we run, for people that don't have the means to get on the water or just enjoy, fishing from shore. I know that's where I started. I'm sure that's where most of us started, fishing from shore. And I still do it. And that's why I still like to, help that group. We got a bunch of sponsors. Copper State's one of our sponsors, Phoenix Fishing, a lot of local guys, AZ Custom Bait, Minesweeper right there. He's got some great stuff. And if you guys do have any kids, if you're listening, we are having a kids tournament. It's free. We do it every year. Chaparral this Sunday. And all of our sponsors donate prizes. The kids come out, they catch bluegill, catfish, carp, whatever they catch. We award the kid who catches the biggest fish, and then all the kids leave with prizes and, you know, pizza and soda afterwards. It's always fun, man. So yeah, the urban stuff is cool. You know, if you guys are ever free on a Saturday, it's a real easy trip to come out and fish in urban. And I think it's made me better as an angler to learn, you know, to persist, because those ponds are pressured.
Mm-hmm.
Not gonna have a lot of 37 fish days fishing urbans. You know, you're gonna we do
2 fish day.
I got one.
3 fish bags for that reason. You know, and you have some days, you know, I mean, we were at McKellips and the guy caught 11 pounds for 3 fish on a glide bait at a mud hole, you know.
Oh,
so
wow.
some big bags come out, and it's a blast, man. I mean, catching a 3-pounder in an urban pond is like pulling a 5, 6, or 7 out of a big lake. It's really exciting, man. So yeah, man. I mean, I love the urbans. I plan to act for them as long as my personal life allows me to, because it's a blast.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, man. I could say actually my first tournament ever was an urban, so
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Good time.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So Dallin, for your 4th place effort there, you are getting a check for $260.
Yes, sir.
Solid.
Little bit to help you out there. And see some friends in the comment section here that a lot of you guys don't know. Daniel Sanchez, get you a kayak and come out and fish with us, man. It's a lot of fun.
That is.
I keep telling them.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Competition's good. Camaraderie's good. It's all good. But yeah, thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks to you guys. Just like Bryce said, you know, I know what it's like to be an admin just from the urbans. You know, when there's money involved, there's always things that can happen. So, you know, I appreciate you guys for handling the stress and the ins and outs of what it takes to run these tournaments.
There's a little effort, but it's well worth the effort. I enjoy it, and I appreciate all you guys.
Yep. Amen to that.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dallin.
Yes, sir. All right. Moving on to the podium, our 3rd place winner here with 87 1/4 inches with a big fish of 19 1/4. We got William Rowe. Or what do you prefer to be called? Bill?
It seems like everyone in this community calls me Will, which actually is not really my name, but I kind of like it now. When someone says Will, I kind of turn around right away. It's normally Bill, but I kind of like it. It's something different. So,
okay.
But yeah, the fishing was absolutely insane for me. I've been wanting to go back to that lake since last year when I fished it with Kayak. And when I was in that tournament, I struggled all day, and it was like the last hour I figured out kind of what they were biting on, and it was insane. And it was just a green pumpkin trick worm. And so I went into this tournament thinking, like, you know, I had a bunch of bags of them ready, and I was going to try to do the same thing. And the fish weren't having it. And that was during my pre-fish, and I just kind of changed it up a little bit. I was trying the frog, different stuff. And finally, I was just throwing a brush hog, baby brush hog. And that's pretty much what I caught all my fish on. And it was absolutely insane. I mean, I kind of went from, you know, just pitching that into the trees to, you know, I changed up my lures here and there where they were hitting other stuff, but it was mainly the same thing. I was just Texas rigging a little crawbait, dragging it through stuff, different sizes, but pretty much the same color as all green pumpkin. They were just destroying it. Tournament day, I kind of found a spot that was, to me, it kind of looked like a little bit of an ambush point for the bass. It wasn't on a point. It was actually kind of where a cove kind of sucked in and kind of funneled like an hourglass. And I just sat there in the morning, and I'm like, I kind of was setting up to hit that spot, because I'm like, if it's a bigger bass, you know, that might be a good spot rather than just hitting the shallow points. And immediately it was second cast, I caught like an 18.5 on like the second cast, and not 10 feet away from there. I think I caught a small one, and then, like 10 feet away from there, I got like, what was it, 19.5 or something like that.
19
But
quarter, it says, yeah.
19.25, yeah.
Cool. I mean, the 19, bro, that's big.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was like I got my kickers early, and then, I was catching 15, 16s nonstop. I didn't catch anything really, maybe a couple smaller ones, but a lot of mine, they were just on that itty bitty brush hog. I mean, all my big ones were pretty much caught on that, just dragging them through. And I covered ground. I even got one of my bigger ones right by the boat ramp. I mean, I literally hit a bunch of spots and then shot back to the boat ramp because I don't think if anyone hit it or whatever, but I was like, wasn't anyone there. Maybe they hit it early, and, I was getting nice ones right by the boat ramp, so you don't always need a motor and have to go all the way, across the lake. Sometimes they're right there, especially with the guys doing the tournaments, the boat tournaments, they're probably dropping them all right there too. So I don't know. It was from going from Mitri and getting skunked to at least getting something on this one. It means a lot. So it kind of bumped me up a little bit. It was a really fun weekend. Great Lake.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you got like a boost in morale too. Obviously, it sucks getting skunked in an event, let alone on a day of fishing. But then to come back with a third place, get a trophy and a check, and have an amazing day of fishing where you're just whacking them. I mean, you're telling the story that we all want to have,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's rough, especially when it's Mitri, and I absolutely love Mitri. My pre-fishing was great there, and just tournament day, besides breaking 2 fish off, it was just terrible, beyond terrible for me. So it happens. It's part of fishing, though,
Mm-hmm.
I almost went there, dude.
What's
that?
I said I almost went there.
Yeah.
Nah, I can't. I have that place in the back of my head still.
Yeah. It's a fun lake, but
Mm-hmm.
this one is that lake though. It's anyone that didn't go there. I mean, I know there's guys that probably struggled, but you're just catching fish all day. It was nuts. So much fun.
Heck yeah. Was this only the second time you fished Alamo?
Yeah, I think the first time was KAA last year, and I think it was a little earlier in the season, and the water was definitely higher at the time, I think, from where it was now. But
we went February and April last year. Dude, I skunked both February and April last year. February was,
I don't remember.
And then April was the single event.
It was April because it started to get hot out. I mean, it was like an early heat out there. I remember that for sure, trying to sleep in, you try to sleep out there and it's so hot. You finally get to sleep and then you get woken up by a pack of donkeys looking in your tent.
Yep.
It was rough. I don't think I had any sleep that weekend. It was just a lot of energy drinks, probably not good for my body. I was just go, 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 go. Very little sleep, but it was fun. Worth it. I'd do it all over again.
I thought I had a donkey right by my boat first thing in the morning. It was just Bryce leaving water for me. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that too, man.
We love donkeys here. I don't get annoyed at donkeys. I listen to them all night long. They can do their sounds, dude. They'll put me to bed. We're good. I need sounds to go to sleep. Not like Kyle, but
yeah.
They still make me laugh, man. I can't get over their sounds, dude. It still cracks me up.
I like the nickname here, Dollar Bill, y'all.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna roll with that.
Will that too, though.
It's fine. I've been called Dollar Bill before. Just don't call me Billy or something. You might have something thrown at your head. So, Will, Bill, William, Dollar Bill. That's fine.
Uh-oh.
That's cool.
All right. Well, Dollar Bill, you are taking home $378 for third.
Yes, sir.
Very nice. I appreciate everything you guys do. It's a good club. I'm happy to be in it. I got, I used to float tube and, a lot of it, the promotion from you guys, your guys' YouTube videos, kind of sucked me in. Zoltan, Patrick. I remember running into him when I was kind of on the fence, and I think I met him out at Saguaro. It was the year that he said he wasn't going to fish, like last year or something, and and then I'm like, I'm kind of thinking about it, and he sort of talked me into it. But one way to get a lot of these guys that are kind of on the fence, your guys' videos. I mean, I just watched Bennett's video. I love it. Yeah, I can watch you guys' videos all day, and it's kind of cool to be in them once in a while too with boat ramp and stuff.
Well, we're streaming live to my channel right now, so you're all over it, bro.
There you go.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I really appreciate that actually, because the goal of my channel is just simply to share like how much of a good time this is, and I try not to really make it about me. Obviously, it's my perspective, but I try to share everybody out there at the boat ramp, and that's why I'm streaming this to my channel right now, is just so people like yourself could see how much fun we're having and want to join. So that's awesome. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. You guys, you'll pull people in, at least if you're like me. I don't know. But yeah, it's a cool community. I enjoy meeting new people and get to know everyone. Every time I'm out there, I get to meet someone new. So, but
that's awesome.
Good
man.
stuff.
Cool, man.
Do you have any fishing sponsors or any projects outside of fishing you want to shout out?
No, I don't really have any sponsors. I mean, my wife will let me fish. Liar's Corner, they don't sponsor me, but they treat me real well. I'm in there. If I'm having a bad day at work, I normally go in there and at least get cheered up a little bit. So I always like them guys. So, but other than that, no, it's just me fishing, getting my mind off work. So
nice.
Yeah, right on.
Happy to have you out there with us, man. Congratulations once again.
Thank you.
Hey, Paul, I agree with your comment. I was going to say that.
Yeah, I was going to pop that up and say I'm not on the inside on this one. I don't know what you mean.
Because he's like, I don't know if I'm going to fish. And then he was one of the guys who qualified through last year. Right?
Yeah, that's what it was. He said he wasn't going to do nothing, but then he just had the most phenomenal year. He just knocked it out of the park last year.
Yes, he did.
I couldn't beat him at all.
Yeah, he was phenomenal.
It's crazy. I didn't make a top 5 until the last event, dude. Like, I've missed this every single time. It's like, how can I not have a good bass event already, dude? I think the curse is finally up. I can go back down tomorrow. It's fine.
Everybody goes through slumps.
At least we did it.
Yep, everybody goes through slumps, man. That's for sure.
Yep. Yeah, he was on a tear last year for sure.
Yeah.
So was Kyle. He's over there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think this year our second place guy is kind of on a little tear. He's doing pretty good.
He is.
He's got 8 inches with 19-inch Bennett Skulkin. What's up, bud?
What's up, man? Thank you.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
dude.
I feel like I had a rough start, especially with that championship, and I feel like catching my PB kind of started some momentum. I got that good team finish and good Alamo finish, so we're on the right direction, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. I remember we were hanging out at camp before the event, dude, and honestly, I drew a lot from you for my day because you were so excited the night before, just from your pre-fishing, and you were just like, man, I can't wait to get out there, dude, I was just standing in front of you, and of course we were driving and talking, but my back thoughts were dude, this kid is so fired up right now. I'm loving this because that's what I feed off of,
Yeah, that's how I get, man. I mean, you can ask Bryce. night before that championship, I was on a good practice bite, and oh, dude, I was shaking. I'm like, I don't know how to.
I think we need to ask Colton. He's got.
Well,
He's
hey,
got
I want to see it.
the
I want to
Shulkin
see it.
shimmy.
I want to see it.
What's that?
The
Oh, the
Shulkin
Shulkin
shimmy.
shimmy.
Come on, dude.
Campfire dance.
Your homie called you out. You can't not.
That's a campfire dance. It's just the way I.
I thought it was like one of these or something, dude.
Oh, it is, but you'll see it later.
No, but like Andrew said right there, dude. Your passion, your fire. Z was saying it a little bit ago, dude. It's like, dang, this dude's got me with his fire. Like, what the heck? I'm a redhead.
I just love to fish, man, and practice was really good for me out there. I mean, I've only been there once, and the first time I went there, I kind of went towards the dam and fished like some deeper rock and threw a worm around, and I took like a 5th place finish, but I didn't really see the lake as much as I wanted. So this time I kind of looked at the map a little more, and I'm like, I don't care how far that is. I want to go see what that is. And I just saw a whole bunch of trees on the map, and so that's where I went. And practice morning, I heard the fish. That's how I found them. And I heard them blowing up underneath this tree, kind of going a little crazy. So I went over there, threw a frog, and they ate it right away. And I was like, oh, man, did I just find that tree? So then I, threw a frog a little bit around, got a couple more blow-ups, threw a jig in there. They ate the jig. I was like, oh, dude, is this going to be this bite all day for me? Like, I already found it. So I left, found some other banks that were similar, flipped the jig, shook them all off. And then I was thinking everyone else is probably on a main lake. Everyone else is probably fishing deep trees. Everyone else is out there fishing deep trees, or main lake fishing. And so I'm like, I have to check out that bite. So I went out main lake, cast around some trees, scoped around, shook off some fish. I'm like, oh, there's some fish out there, but I don't know how big they are. Ended up catching probably about 15 in practice, all about 12 inches, just live scoping them, just seeing what they were. A couple catfish mixed in, and then went back midday and found that shallow bite. So tournament day, I went straight to that spot. I went shallow. I went to that tree and threw that white frog underneath that tree, and they were hammering it. I mean, I caught my first limit on a frog, was culling just by looking at pictures, and just kept going, just kept grinding. First thing in the morning, I think I had 9 or 8 fish out of that one tree. It was actually 3 trees kind of combined, but it was one tree top in the center that they were just underneath. There's like some, someone's got some knowledge on it. There's these brown nest type bug things. I don't know what they are. They hang below the trees though, like the acacias or the mesquites, those big trees out there. They hang below them. I don't know if they drop little baby caterpillars or what's in them. But first thing in the morning, as soon as that sun comes out, those bass are right below them and eating whatever hits the top of the water. I mean, it was fun. And I wish I would have got it on video, but I didn't turn the camera on then because I was trying to focus. But yeah,
that's interesting. I you know what, I saw that too, and like to me it looked like debris that had built up on the trees when the water was high, and then when the water dropped it drooped like that, but then like insects and other things were using it as a nest subsequently after that. And so you watch something like that, that's silkworm. Someone's saying silkworm, I don't know, but Colton
maybe.
But yeah, I don't know, dude, that's interesting stuff, dude. That's like, to me, in my opinion, that like, I'm obviously not the most accomplished bass fisherman, but out of all the research I do, that's the type of stuff we really need to start keying into, like the other pieces of nature around that are like, the bass are right below it. You said that's awesome.
Like the delicacies.
They're total forage.
They're total forage, dude.
It's like that fish will eat shad year round, and probably a crawdad year round.
Right.
That baby bird that falls out of that nest, he's not there year round, but they want that baby bird, or that lizard that comes off that rock wall. It's like,
yeah.
So I really related my pattern to just that type of tree, the thick trunk with green leaves and hopefully something hanging underneath it. The real key for me on tournament day was shade. Practice day, we had not a single cloud in the sky, so the bite was really easy to kind of predict. Tournament day, clouds kept coming in, moving in, and as soon as that cloud would move in, my bite would shut off. I couldn't catch them underneath the tree. But as soon as that sun would come back out and that I see that good shadow, they were in there. They were in there every time. And you could just as soon as that cloud came back over and you're done fishing your spot, you could just take that time to cruise to your next spot. And I fished probably 4 banks all day, and just kept rotating back and forth, and finally found some good ones. lost a good one right before I saw you, Z. I lost probably a 20 plus, and
Man, I hate to admit that I know exactly where and what you're talking about, because I didn't see you on the other side of it when I rolled up. That's why I left, because I was like, oh, this is Bennett's spot. Like, what am I doing here? But yeah, dude, I did roll up, and you were like, I just dumped a big one. I was like, oh, honestly, like, I felt bad for you, of course, but not until we rolled in and I saw like the end standings, I was like, oh man.
Well, you told me, you're like, oh, you're sitting in first. I was like, yeah, no, that was my seal of the deal.
Oh, damn, I hate to say it, probably
Long
was.
game,
Dude.
Kyle.
That happens, you know.
Yeah, it's the game, dude.
It wasn't my time, so just got to keep going. But I learned a lesson. I bent out my first dirty jig ever. Bent it out, trying to break it off. So I was running low. I broke off probably 6 jigs over the weekend. So I bent it back, and I was fishing. I lost probably like 6, 13, 14-inch fish. And they just kept coming off. And I was like, oh, I'm ripping them out of the water too quick, and that's why they're coming off. Well, then I hooked into that big one, and she just gave me one shake right at the boat, and it came out. And I looked at my hook, and my hook was bent. And I was like, that was it, dude. I should have changed that hook. So retie, guys. Change your hooks and retie all the time, because it'll cost you some money.
Especially before Clear Lake. Whoever's going. Especially before then. That's where I learned, Bennett. I learned what you learned at Clear Lake, and I was like, what? And it was just, wow. Okay.
But yeah. You can beat yourself up over it, but you gotta, take what you can, take the positive from it. I had a great day. I had 30 plus fish on a jig, and almost 10 on a frog, flipping all day long.
Can't beat that, man. That's a heck of a day at the lake.
Yeah.
And that whole thing about the hook and stuff, I always think about that with mine. It even crosses my mind that I think maybe I should retie, get the scissors, cut it off, and just do it, especially on a tournament day.
Especially around trees too.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it's. Yeah.
Hey, Bennett.
But I flaunt the area there sometimes about retying. Like, if we're at Roosevelt, Alamo, it's like, I have to,
Hey, Bennett, I just want to say, looks like you brought some of the old crew into this chat here, and they're all cheering you on, man. You want to give them a shout out?
Yeah, dude. Shout out to the 520 guys.
There you go.
And Dr. Bass Thumbs as well. Dr. Bass Thumbs is Zach and Danny. They run that page.
Yeah.
And they love to fish. They love to catch bass. They're out there as much as we are, just in a boat. But there's some cool guys, man. You guys ever want to check out some cool Tucson pages? 512 Bassmasters. They put on some local tournaments down here. They're a lot of fun. That's what I started. I started fishing with them, and here I am now. They kind of motivated me and pushed me to do this and pushed me to keep going. So here I am.
We need to get a few of these guys to jump in the kayak, man. It's once they start doing it with us and realize how affordable kayak fishing is compared to boat fishing, they're going to be hooked, man. They're going to love it. It's just got to get them in there that first time.
Yeah. We got Colton. Switched over. So.
Yeah, we got Colton. Well, cool, Bennett. You are, for second place, you are 88 inches. You are getting a check for $599.
Nice. Thank you, guys.
Not bad, yeah. Congratulations.
No, not bad. Awesome.
You got one more thank you, Bennett.
What's that?
You could thank anyone you want right now, Ben. You got any sponsors or side projects or what you got going on?
So all day long, I was throwing my Triker rod. That's all I've been throwing lately. Been with them for a couple months now. I can't say enough good things about their rods. So if you guys want to try a Triker rod, you guys see me, you guys want to feel it, let me know. I'll let you guys test it out. They're very light, very sensitive rods. They got a pretty good return policy, 1-year return policy if you don't like it. Nowaki Real Estate Group. They've actually been helping me out this year, Glenn Nowaki. He's a big supporter of mine. He's always cheering me on. And then Stanger's Landscape and Masonry as well. He's my buddy out there on the north side. Does some really good work. So if you guys need any yard work done, any ideas, he's your guy.
Heck yeah, man. Good
And he
shout outs right
catches
there,
some
dude.
nice smallies.
Oh
on
yeah.
the trip.
Yeah, he's always up there at Parker Strip catching those nice smallies. I'm jealous.
That's awesome,
Yeah,
man.
for sure. Well, thanks a lot, man.
Heck
Thank you,
yeah,
guys.
dude. Well done.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Absolutely. Cool, man. Well, it's been such a good night already, and we're not even to first place yet, but we've finally arrived with 88 1/4 inches and a big fish of 18 1/4. Kyle Helms.
Dun, dun, dun.
What's up, dude?
What's up?
So, tell us about your day at Alamo.
I got to start off by saying the last live that we did, I didn't watch it live. I ended up watching on my I do a lot of driving for work, but I watched it then. And when I saw the stats come up for who was qualified for championship and who wasn't, I saw my name on the bubble and not qualified. I was quite embarrassed and disappointed in myself. And it really bothered me. And I kind of had to take a look at what I was doing wrong this year, because I've been doing really rough, and especially in point season, regular Bass Nation events, point series events. And I took a little bit of a different approach at Roosevelt Apache last tournament, as well as this tournament. On Thursday, I found pretty good fish pretty quick, and I didn't I didn't fish for him very hard. I found him and I left him alone. And then Friday I went out and just Thursday I didn't have a pattern at all. I saw a fish, really good fish, and I saw them in specific spots. I figured they'd probably stay there because the weather was fairly stable. On Friday I went out and just kind of fun fish and tried to dial in the pattern a little bit. But I found him the way I caught him was completely different than I normally catch him. I'm normally throwing swim baits, Kitex or different things in many different ways, bottom or middle column or high in the column or rock piles or through trees or whatever. But I found that on my active target, as I was watching a fish respond to my baits, that the majority of them are hitting as it would hit the top of the water, and then it would come down, and as it was falling, that's when they were hitting it. I couldn't get a fish any other way. I couldn't get a fish any type of way retrieving at all on the south end of the lake. And so I tried a whole bunch of different things to try to target these fish, and they had to be far away on the active target. I couldn't get them if they're up close. I couldn't drop something down below me like I did at Apache for teams. I was just dropping them right below me. They had to be, and I was talking to Patrick about this too. Patrick had brought it up how he noticed they were only hitting at a certain distance, and I kind of noticed that too. So I settled on like a really weird bait. It was like a 330 seconds tungsten Kayak ball head, super round, and 4.5 inch rover worm curly tail. And all I would do the whole tournament was I would go into big coves, and I fished on the south end of the lake where there was no cover. I'm not a big cover fisherman. I like open water and rock piles, stuff like that. That's why I really do so poorly at like Mitri and Martinez and stuff like that. But I would just go in these coves, 20, 30 foot of water, and just scope around. And, bass are fairly obvious. And once you kind of see what they're doing, and I would just see them, 60 to or 40 to, 70 foot out. I'd cast and just let it fall right over the top of them. And that's how I got them. It was the craziest shit. That's the only way I could get them. I couldn't get them in any other normal way that I'd normally fish. And I never throw a curly tail worm on a ball head. I don't even throw curly tail worm. I don't even throw worms. So it was weird that I even had them. So a weird technique that that worked out really well for me. That I caught, like, I think probably 4 of the 5 fish that counted. That's how I caught. And then later in the day, I had burned out an area pretty good, and I had lost a really big fish, and I took off just on a whim to a whole new area that was kind of similar, and I just happened upon an area. It was tight in a cove that had a shit ton of fry. They're massive schools of fry, and there were diving birds, and bass were going absolutely ballistic. And that's when I tossed the Kayak out and managed to get that last fish that put me a quarter over Bennett. About 10 minutes till the end of the tournament is when I caught it.
Wow.
Wow.
That's super clutch, dude. Man, you're describing that situation, and I'm going to be honest, dude. Like, this is why you're a much better angler than me. Is like, I would have just been at a total loss, and for you to think to do something like put a robo worm curly tail on. I mean, I what made you think of that?
Well, I noticed that I needed something that I could cast a good distance because I needed it to go far out, but I needed it to fall slowly. And I figured they weren't biting any of my Kitex. Anything they just weren't touching them. Those ones out on the active target. So the only thing that I had that I could get some distance on that could maybe slow something down was that curly tail. A little bit of friction in the water, slowing it down a little bit. And it just happens that I had them, and I tell you, I only had 1 pack of them. I had never opened them. Jeremy Perry, convinced me on the bait and the color, and by the end there, I had worms that were like 2 inches long and completely obliterated, that were turning upside down and just doing all kinds of crazy shit just to try to keep them on the hook because I had run out. But they were still biting. They were turning them up.
Huh. Interesting. When you describe it like that, it makes sense that you would pick that, because that thought process is very straightforward and simple, but at the same time, it's outside of the box from the way you described that you usually fish. Was that on a spinning gear that you were throwing that?
Yeah, I used I think it's a 610 X Pride SWB or something like that, medium heavy.
Medium heavy. Okay. That's interesting. Man, that's cool, dude. Sounds like you had a great time.
I had a blast. I caught a ton of fish in the morning. I had one spot that I had picked out, and I beelined it for it, and but by the time I had caught probably 20 or 30 fish off this spot by the time the wind had stopped, and I had boats surrounding me. I had a guy in a kayak who I'm not going to name literally rolled up 10 feet from me and started fishing, which kind of pissed me off, but I just moved on. It doesn't even matter. He didn't even do that good. So the bite had turned off by then anyways. But I was a little bummed out that he had done that, but it was a really weird spot. It was right on a creek channel swing on a long tapering point, and casting super far, and it had to have been like 30 foot, and just letting it fall and not even reeling it. You just let it fall, and by the time you went to reel it in, there was a fish on there. It was the weirdest bite I've ever done, but I figured it out pretty quick, luckily, and was able to use it throughout the day on a couple different types of baits, but mainly the robo worm.
It's cool finding something like that and figuring it out, and then knowing that probably nobody else is doing that.
Yeah, exactly what Pat said. Like, that's the funnest ever right there.
Yeah, it was a really weird bite. Yeah, but
that's super cool.
Yeah, and that's the cool thing about really weird bites like that is it's one of those things that maybe you don't use that often, but you can always check it, and in those odd circumstances, it'll hold and it'll prevail and push you to a win, maybe even in some circumstances.
Especially when you travel, dude. You know, like when you're just scratching your head, like, what the heck? You whip that out anywhere in the country, you'll catch fish if they're there. They want to eat.
Back pocket. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool because I was literally just thinking to say something like that. Like you got first place and you cast a check, but you're also going home with another technique in the back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's been like a big thing. Last year I used like very few techniques throughout the year, but they held throughout the year and they didn't hold beginning of the year. And that's what forced me to, I had to learn pretty quick that it's not going to work. I need to change. I need to figure other things out. And I've also learned that in practice, if I find something that works, I'll put it away and I will go through the tackle box to try and find something that's better or as consistent in different circumstances instead of just trying to rely on the same thing all the time.
Man, that's a super great share because I've personally been trying to work on the same thing. And so it's motivating. You came in first place, like actually exercising that. So I think everyone can pick that up and take something from that right there.
Yeah. And the other thing too that I did different this tournament that I don't normally do, and I got to thank Paul for this because Paul busted my balls about it at Martinez, is not hammering. I think it was Paul and Andrew probably, but is not hammering the spot that you're fishing in practice. But if you find them, just fucking move away. Find them somewhere else or try different techniques, but just don't hammer spots. And now when I see guys that are like hammering spots in practice, I'm like, what are you doing? Just they're there. You know they're there. Just move.
Yeah.
But I was guilty of it too.
Better, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we could all be that
pattern
guy.
2, backup pattern 3, so forth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Yeah, I've been going
back up.
since I started on just A. That's
it. Go up like plan F at least, dude.
That's awesome.
Bennett, because Bennett was on him when we were over there, Oklahoma. I'm like, he's like, yeah, I got plan A, dude. It's dialed in. I'm like, go find B, C, D, E, all the way to F, dude, at least. But it's cool. It's cool listening to you, dude. I do want to say I appreciate your little present you left for me.
Oh yeah.
On my driver's seat, Kyle.
Me?
Yeah, you.
You got me mistaken with someone
else. I
else.
don't think so, dude. There's only one guy.
What was it? Did it have anything to do with a donkey?
I mean, it's like Mexican related. Let's say that. Tequila, maybe.
It wasn't me, bud. Someone else has got your best interests at heart.
Who else has tequila then, dude? There was a bottle of Patron when I was leaving the awards in my driver's seat. I'm like,
oh yeah, if it was Patron, I would have given it to you because I don't drink that shit. But
I seen someone. I think I seen someone pick it up. I don't think it was Kyle though. It was someone else.
I haven't touched it.
It was sitting on the.
What's that?
I put it in your seat. We were trying to get rid of it, and we couldn't find anyone to drink it. And I'm like,
is it good?
Bryce will drink it.
Bryce will drink it.
It's good.
I haven't yet, dude.
I could
have swore it was Kyle, man. Shoot.
I don't give away tequila.
I was shocked, dude. I was like, wow. Well, you did in Oklahoma, though. You gave some tequila away to Brad and myself.
Yeah, too much stuff.
A little driving tequila for the road home.
No, it was just sweet, Pat. Come on.
Just Coors Light.
Hey, Kyle, is there anybody you want to thank or any sponsors or anything you got to want to shout out?
No sponsors or anything. My girlfriend, she's really awesome. She doesn't care that I fish, and as long as I treat her good, she treats me good and lets me do whatever I want. So I just started a new business. I do motorized shade repair. I've been doing it for like 10 years. Everybody needs shade repair, interior, exterior. Let me know.
Dude, that's the shout out right there. Heck yeah. Good job.
Right on.
Congratulations on that. I hope that works out for you.
Thank you, Z.
Yeah.
So, Kyle, for your first place at 88.25 inches, you get a check for $1,042.
Dude,
Nice.
yes.
Nice.
Congratulations, dude. Oh, that reminds me, dude, that first place trophy, the one you accidentally dropped and it cracked, we're going to get that replaced for you. It's already in the works, so don't worry about it.
Awesome. Thank you, Z.
Yeah, buddy. Absolutely, dude. Heck yeah,
Come
man.
on, man.
I want to make sure everyone gets what's coming too. I just want to make sure and let everybody know that everybody that we had on the show tonight, these kayak anglers, these guys are sticks, man. We whack it, dude. I'm telling you. I just want to go over for anyone that fishes out of a boat, dude. These are some of the weights that Tourney X estimates. So some of these bags could be bigger, maybe a little smaller, but it says that Bryce caught 14 pounds. It says that Dallin caught 14.5 pounds, 15 pounds for Bill, 15.5 for Bennett, and just about 15.5 for Kyle there as well. So I mean, dude, these guys are sticks, dude, and they're sharing good tips. So
Yeah,
it's awesome fishing against
solid,
you guys.
solid bags out of Alamo for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job.
Hey, Bryce.
Yes, sir.
You want to give a shout out to the angler that actually entered 2 different bags on this tournament?
I already did today. What are you talking about? No, and that's where, like, I mean, we all go through it. I've had fish DQ'd. I've had limits DQ'd. And it's all about bouncing back from that.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, most people know I love Andrew. He had the wrong identifier on, right? Andrew, I'm sorry. Okay, he's laughing. We're good. Let's roll it.
When I ran
happens.
into Andrew,
He had the wrong identifier on, dude. And you know, you have 2 options when your whole bag is just, you know, you catch a good or decent limit anyway, a good starting limit, and then you get a call, hey, you get the wrong identifier. Crap. You have 2 options. You can be in moan to keep it PG, or you can just, you're out there, you're fishing, you go with the rest of your day, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't expect anything less from Andrew, you know? He's like, yeah, my whole first limit was DQ. I'm like, what happened? He's like, wrong identifier.
I gotta say,
yep, I got it. You know, it's just moving on. You're already moving on. So like whatever adversity, whatever you accomplish out there or go into, I mean, the guys that keep doing it are the guys that are just going to fish all day, no matter what, and just keep going.
And see, you know, you're absolutely right, Bryce. So I just got to touch on his stats here. So even though he got a whole limit denied, he still got 11th place, put up 83.75, and had 4 fish on top of his 5 with a 17.75 to boot.
Yep.
I mean, that's killer right there.
Yeah.
So we should applaud that.
That's why I wanted to. Yes, Ricardo, I will.
Yeah.
No, I gotta say, man. Yeah, you know, little chuckle at Andrew's expense, but really what I wanted to highlight was the fact that it speaks to somebody's character, right? You make a call and you don't give them good news.
Yep.
You know, you're either gonna get cussed out and say, "What the hell's going on?" Blah blah blah. Not even, man. It was a chuckle. He's like, "Hey, man, thank you for letting me know." Typical Andrew, right? Like that's Andrew. And so I just want to give a shout out, Andrew. Great showing. I mean, we all mess up. We've all been there. We're all gonna be there again. But he reacted in the true sportsman, you know, sense. So shout out to you, Andrew.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Kyle.
Yes.
Good job.
Hey, at least you knew he had a limit, Kyle.
Fuck you, man.
Pop one other thing up here real quick.
Oh,
guys,
man.
So this was our full payout here. And I think, I don't remember it off the top of my head. Let me pull it up here real quick. So we paid out a total of $3,024. So thank you guys very much. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Sir.
Hey, I do want to ask real quick, Ricardo, what lake did you fish up there?
I just fished a tournament this past weekend at Pueblo Reservoir.
Pueblo?
Yeah, man. First
Yeah.
time ever fishing smallmouth, man. I'm having a blast.
Dude, we went up there in 2020. Dude, I had a freaking blast. Like I wasn't gonna go, and then Lance was like, "Hey, dude, let's go. I got a house, work's paying for it. Let's go."
Yeah.
And I caught a 4-pound smallie in practice, dude, at Pueblo, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I told the locals there, "Yeah, I caught a 4-pound smallie today," and they looked at me like I was crazy, dude. They're like, no, you didn't. I'm like, okay.
What size was it?
Go ahead.
What size was it?
It was 19 3/4.
Yeah, nice.
And dude, it was like
Thick.
the locals were like, no, dude, there's no way. But she was on a bed and she was there 3 days later for the tournament too. And it was, yeah. Once I caught her at like 8 o'clock, dude, it was over. That was a fun day. Because you catch largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass.
Yeah.
We caught over like 70 fish that day. Brad was up there too, just tearing them up. He got fourth, I think. But Pueblo, dude, that's a cool little lake. Like kids, family, come on out. We're for sure catching fish today.
Yeah, it's a blast, man. I'm loving it over here. Just gotta
Nice.
get weather, that's all.
Nice.
I appreciate the call. Yeah, for sure, man. Ricardo's good with that.
I told Pat I was glad I didn't get a call from Ricardo today.
A call from what?
I mean that from Ricardo.
Oh,
I was like, I'm glad I didn't hear from him. I did almost everything right. But it was at 15 1/4. I uploaded to the other tournament first, and yeah, I looked
So,
at it, and by then it was already fixed. So
you guys ready to take a look at AOI?
my
All
guess
right. So
is 51 points.
I'm going to pull it up here. I've already got it all set for with the throwout. So after 4 tournaments, hang on, let me see. Can I go full screen here? Yeah.
Even more?
Okay. Can you guys read it okay?
Yeah.
Fucking Mark Kyle.
So you got Mark Kyle with 855.
I know.
But it's a pretty tight race. And at the top, we got a little spread out. When you start getting down here, 4th place and so on, it's tight down here,
Wow.
man. It's a really tight race. So it's still kind of anybody's ball game. There's two tournaments left in our AOI, and with Roosevelt coming up here in just a couple of weeks. So it's really kind of anybody's ball game. I'll have a lot more information posted up on this Thursday. Tomorrow, I have an opportunity to head out and go do a little fishing myself, so I'm not going to be around tomorrow. But I'll get a lot of stuff posted up on Thursday. And so then the other thing, let me see if this is going to work. Qualifier list. Oh, it's too small. Hang on. Zooming. So for the guys out of each tournament, we qualify the top 12. And so this is where we're at here after 4 tournaments. If you look on, hang on, I'm trying to make this a little smaller. If you look at this list over here, we've got through the top 12s, we've got a total of 30 people qualified now. In our last tournament here, there were 10 guys that were already in the top 12. So we only qualified 2 more people out of this last tournament. And it's only in numerical order. So this isn't in the place you guys finished or have anything to do with AOI. But on what I'm calling my running list, or the people on the bubble over here, you can see that too. This is that next 25. So going into the championship as it stands right now, we would have 55 anglers qualified. So that would mean we would qualify 5 guys to go to the national championship.
Awesome.
So after 2 more tournaments, I expect there will be a handful more people added to this list. We would need 5 more people to qualify through the top 12 on the next 2 tournaments to get us up to 6 people qualifying for the national championship.
Yeah, we do.
But it's starting to shape up to be a pretty good battle, man. This is a bunch of hammers here for sure.
Dude, I'm 5 people, man. I'm happy about that's good, dude. This is good stuff. I'm stoked on that.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this is all working out, honestly.
Yes.
When we get to that 2-day tournament, the 2-day championship at Roosevelt, I believe it's the October 7th and 8th or something like that. It's early in October. I think that one's going to be a blast.
Okay.
Hey,
do
Pat,
this.
can I say something real quick too?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, I don't know how many people are live right now, but plenty will come back later and watch it. You know, there's ways to qualify for the Bassmaster Classic Kayak Championship, right? I mean, Arizona is just one of them. So there's a few of us headed up to Clear Lake, California. It's the end of next month, basically, June 29th, one-day event. But all the money and membership dues and all that are due by the end of this month. So like, say, you know, hey, I've been to Clear Lake or I haven't been to Clear Lake and I really want to go, or even it's just like pre-fishing for the West Coast Championship. If you plan on going to that, this could be a weekend where you go see Clear Lake for the first time. But you can also qualify through other states. So California, Colorado, they do top
New
10 in
Mexico.
every event. And if you qualify for that, then you got to do their championship. But for California, it's just going to be a one-day event on Clear Lake, June 29th, 200 angler cap. That lake will hold 200 kayakers. Be crowded, but it'll fish okay. But yeah, that's coming up. But you have to pay the membership and the entry fees by the end of this month. So it's just, I mean, Brad's going, I'm going, Lance, Joe Coffin, we all got a house. So we're basically trying to even, hey, we already qualified over here. So we now have more spots for AZ guys to go, you know, go over there. But I just want to throw that out there because we got about, what, 9-10 days left to still qualify or sign up.
To get set up for that if people want to do it.
So
Yeah.
and
Great
just for the
opportunity.
guys that already throw questions out there, we are full in our house. Sorry, Kyle. we were kind of full, and then we added Joe. We got a small house. We're only going like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come back home.
I'll sleep in the closet, man. Let me get a spot.
I mean, but there's enough guys where you can get a house together, 3-4 guys, and it's just, you know, I mean, it's just, why not?
No, I can attest. That's like
I'm not
the way to
taking the
do
whole
it.
week. I've been to Clear Lake enough and know it. If it fishes well, great. I'm just out there taking a chance.
So yeah,
But
if they get their 200 guys, then you know they would qualify 20 people. So
yeah,
if you got
no, I know.
20,
And I mean, and it might not hit 200, but they're already at 50. You know, I'm still not even in yet, and they're at 50. So they'll probably come around 120-ish. My guess would be at least
they get to that
12,
like
12
120.
So I'm just randomly guessing, you know, but
cool.
The more we get, the more qualified for the whole West Coast. So.
Yep. For those that want that opportunity, that's a great opportunity there.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of why we started this club, is to build a national opportunity.
All right, guys, we've been on here.
Kyle.
We're starting to close in on an hour and a half. You guys, anybody got anything else you want to add? Let's close it out here pretty soon.
Don't forget about the Copper State sale this week, 25% off. Guys that came in late.
Support our sponsors for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, guys, for coming on.
I'm going to end the stream here.
Good luck,
everybody, for jumping on.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you, man.